Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm gonna do a demo comparison between the MKII, the Boss Katana MKII and the new 3rd gen. So basically I have both katanas connected via USB into my iMac, so I can actually use both tone studios for both katanas. And everything is at noon in both katanas. I'm not using any EQ, not even reverb. And basically using the vintage cap. I'm going to start with the clean channel. By the way, the variation mode is on. I'm going to stick it like that or the video will be too long. And it's recording via the rec out. Now I know the rec out on the Gen 3 can be stereo, but I'm using 2 mono jacks, so it's more faithful. Of course, the ideal scenario would be to compare them using microphones. But the thing is, using a microphone and not having them completely at the same spot will have huge differences. You guys probably know that just 1 millimeter will affect the tone. And many people use the rec out to record their katanas into their interface or USB into their computer as an audio interface. And now, regarding the Gen 3, the USB is much better, like I said in a previous video, than any katana until now, because it really sounds like you could make a record. Really sounds good. So I have this Fender ABY pedal down here, and I can change between, my guitar is connected into that. I can change between, and then 2 jacks into both amps. I can change between 1 amp and the other. Let's start out with the Katana MKII on the clean channel, on the neck pickup of this guitar. I've chosen this guitar because you have a bridge humbucker and then some single coils that most of the time sound better than any of my other Strats. Don't ask me why. This is a Nick Johnston signature guitar, not American one. And let's check out the tone from the MKII first on the clean channel. Okay, let's go for the Gen 3. Put this on the 4th position, still on the Gen 3. Now back to the Katana MKII. What we have here first is a weaker signal from the MKII, and there's much body to the Gen 3, and not just body but detail. So there is a difference. And by the way, I'm doing this test, but I've already done it with microphones or without microphones. I mean, being in the room with the amps and doing this AB switch and listening with my own ears. Ideally, microphones would be better, but since I don't have the right configuration or studio to make that, I can tell you by now with my trusting my ears that they do sound just like that in the room, you know, very different indeed. So let's go for the push channel. Doesn't exist, so let's go for the Katana crunch channel and the Katana, both katanas on the crunch channel. Let's start with on the bridge pickup with the MKII. Now, Gen 3. First thing I noticed, although it has much more body, is also the dynamics of the amp. First, it has less gain, then has less fizziness, more body to it, and a better response to your picking attack. Back to the Katana MKII, I mean. Is lacking something. Back to the Gen 3. You guys have to be in the room to really make this test, because hearing it by yourself and playing it, you can really tell there's a big difference, because the MK3, not the MK3, the Gen 3 or Gen 3, whatever they want to call it, has been redesigned, not just the software, but also the voicings from every amp, or preamp, so it has to sound different. Now, tone is subjective, of course, like someone said on Facebook, but I'm much preferring right now the Gen 3, to be honest with you. And everything it offers, just by the fact that you can record an album with USB and match the tones of other much more expensive equipment, it's top notch. Sounds more like, feels more like a tube amp, to be honest with you. Now let's go for the lead channel on the MK2 and Gen 3. I don't know why I don't say MK3 all the time, but that's good. So on the lead channel, Gen 3. MK2 again. Now on the Gen 3. Neck pickup. MK2. You got a weaker signal, and the sound, the tone obviously changes, but like I told you before, in the room it also changes a lot. Okay, and finally, let's go for the brown channel on the MK2 first, and then on the Gen 3. MK2 first. By the way, I don't think I said in the beginning that I recorded this patch on the MK2 and then imported on the MK3 Gen 3. You cannot do it otherwise backwards. There's no backwards compatibility like there is no MK2 for MK1 patches. Only, you know what I mean. And so basically it should sound the same, but it does not sound the same. So once again on the MK2. This is the brown channel. Now on the Gen 3. Back to the MK2. Okay, let me just engage that for fun. Let's put a Toushscreen in front of this tone with the exact same settings. You guys cannot see it, but I'm basically putting everything at noon as well on the booster, and the booster is a tube screamer in front of both amps. So let's start out with MK2. now the Gen 3. And just to end the video, because I'm going to do a separate video on effects from both, let's just engage a reverb here and copy the settings. Just give me a second. So on the MKII, a little bit or too much reverb on the brown channel. And now on the Gen 3, same reverb, same everything. So even the reverb on the breakout or the effects sound better. So I'm going to do a separate video on that. And if you guys want me to test out the line out as well, because USB has already been tested out, and if I can, I will try to make a video using microphones, because I think it's the best approach. I'll try to put them right in the middle of the cone and see if I can match them somehow in this room, because this is not an ideal room to do this sort of tests, because once again microphones will be the ideal scenario. So I'll see what I can do about that. But regarding rec out, which has a very good representation of what amps sound really in the room, you can see and can spot the differences between the two. So I hope you find this video helpful. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so yet, and stay tuned for more episodes on the Katana MKII versus Gen 3. Cheers!